how did you come across the product itself? Like what was it that made you find that product?
It's funny because I didn't actually find it, my wife did. In a really short time. So I think I was spending up at the most was almost $2,500 a day, which seems insane. Like, I know that seems ridiculous. My retargeting is probably, in terms of my overall ROAS and consistency, is probably the most profitable, and at least consistently profitable as well. Just as per the course. So the 19th of Jan was a really big day. So I think it was like a $2,000 profit day.
Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. My name is Chris Wayne. In this one, I've got something a little bit different for you. I've got a guy on from Australia called Shannon. He started his dropshipping store about 2 months ago, and he's already generating over $2,000 profit every single day. When I started to hear about the success he was having and how quickly he was seeing the success, I knew I had to get him on the channel so he could talk to you guys about how he did this and how he got started, how he grew his store, and basically try and give you as much information as he possibly can to help you guys out with your own dropshipping businesses. So with that being said, let's just jump straight into the call right now, and hopefully you're going to learn something that can change everything for you. Well, thanks for jumping on anyway. I'm super excited about this. Obviously, yes. I've seen your success. I've seen your posters in the group and everything. It's great to see.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just kind of want to get a bit of, obviously, like your story and how you got started and stuff in dropshipping and everything like that, and just basically just get some advice from you about, for people who are watching this on YouTube and everything, about how they can basically do what you've done and grow that business. So I think probably the best place to start with this is just for you to give a bit of a background on who you are, your sort of current situation before dropshipping and how you got into it, really.
Yeah, perfect. So to give an idea of what I currently do, so I'm a personal trainer. I've been a personal trainer for probably just on 10 years now. So I've always run my own business. It's not something that I ever really wanted. It's not something like I woke up and just said, I don't want to work for the man anymore. It was just, I just happened to work in a call center for so many years, and I just got to the point where I'm like, I need to do something with my life. So I was into fitness. So I used to be quite an overweight kid. So I lost a lot of weight, and that's how I got into fitness and business. So I did that. I've done that for 10 years. I've also had an online aspect to my coaching for probably the last 3 years. And it's been quite successful for both. And I think what sort of is taking me into drop shipping is running your own business is very up and down. So you could be making money one day, and literally the next day, if you lose all your clients, or if, for example, your Facebook ads account gets switched off, that's it, it's gone. So I've always been of the mindset of having at least a couple of different streams of income, especially running your own business. So that way, if something goes down, you do have something else to look forward to or something to keep you going. But what sort of got me into drop shipping is, and I suppose this is it's probably an awkward way to go about it, but I'm a very lazy person. Lazy as in I like to do things the most efficient, the fastest, and the easiest way possible, which is part of the reason probably why my coaching for weight loss is so successful, because I give people the option to do whatever they want, however they like, and we get them results. So what sort of drew me in is the fact that it's simple in the fact that once everything's set up and the processes are in place, you literally click a few buttons every day. You just make sure everything's on point, and it just almost runs automatically without you having to do too much. Apart from me, especially just being in the first few months, still running the customer service side, I really don't get that many customer service emails. People think that they're going to be inundated. As long as you're a legitimate person and you're doing a legitimate business and you're offering a legitimate product, you're not trying to rip people off, it's fine. Like, I maybe get 1 or 2 emails every other day in terms of either the product's not working or broken, or the way it should be working, or there might be a late delivery, or maybe a delivery got lost. But I really haven't had any issues with customer service whatsoever. But that's sort of where I got into drop shipping, so to speak. But I've always had an interest in, so before I was doing personal training, and when I did my early studies, I was doing web design, graphic design. So I've always been a part of sort of internet computers. You can probably tell by my massive headset, I've been a massive gamer for like 15 years. So not as much time these days because we have a son now, but I've always done some sort of the latest technology, that sort of stuff. So a lot of it's sort of come naturally to me in terms of just implementing it, setting up a website. Facebook ads, I've already somewhat learnt previously with my online training business anyway. Not that I very, very rarely use them, but just having the experience with it, it sort of just all meshed together in terms of where I am now. So that sort of pushed me into the direction where I am now.
Okay, no, I mean, yeah, it's really good then. So you kind of already had a bit of a background in sort of digital marketing in a sense anyway from your own business. Is that how you promote your own business now, your fitness business?
Yes. So all my personal training business currently is all organic marketing, so word of mouth. Mostly it's run through Instagram, so it's just very specific hashtags, laddered in a very specific way to get the most reach. Hashtags, and the algorithm changes so fast on Instagram. You could be 1,000 likes a day and then drop down to 100 the next day. So, and again, that was another reason what sort of got me into where I am now. So just the possibility of if someone was not to like my post for any reason, or it went against the terms of policy and my Instagram account got shut down for any reason, that's the main way I reach online clients. If that was to go apart from the email list, I don't have any other way to get those people back. So it's more of an insurance policy as well to have multiple businesses having multiple streams of income. And when I first set out to do it, it wasn't necessarily the way I see it is I just want to be able to have enough money to be safe. So if something was to go wrong, I could live quite comfortably for at least 6 months without working whatsoever.
Yeah.
Moving forward from there, if we wanted to go on a holiday or we wanted to just buy something for the house or the family, we could just go out and buy something without thinking, oh, I've only got this much money. My next paycheck is coming in this week. Just the stress of having no money is not fun. So that's, I think, and in terms of marketing, the pain is much more important than the pleasure. So I'd rather stay away and move away from the pain.
Yeah.
And in terms of what it doesn't allow us to do as a family, and depending on what you want to do with your dropshipping business and how you want to treat it, I just treat it as a proper legitimate business, which it is, to just make me and my family's future safe,
Yeah.
moving
Well,
forward.
that makes sense. I mean, that's the best way of going about it, really, is to, you have to see it as a legitimate business. And I try and say that a lot to so many people, that this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. You're not going to throw a few ads together and make a lot of money. It doesn't happen like that. You have to run it as a business. And I think that probably helped you a little bit, the fact that you were already kind of running a business, even though it was very different to dropshipping. Having kind of that business mentality anyway probably
the mindset.
Yeah, the mindset of it's probably really helped you out. So just coming back to the dropshipping side of it, obviously you haven't been doing it that long, have you? Has it been a couple of months now? I think you.
Yeah.
So far?
Probably 2 months in the few days. So let me give you a quick idea. So I started on the 27th of November, and I'm a data person as well, so I've got all my spreadsheets. So 27th of November is the official day I started making sales, and today's the 26th of Jan. So basically just on 2 months exactly, officially running a store, doing everything.
Okay, so is this your first store then?
First store.
The first store you've ever you've just walked straight into dropshipping, found your product, and built your store, and then
Correct.
Obviously you're seeing the success now. I mean, that's incredible in itself, really, that you just walked in and just go, yeah, this is easy. Let's just let's fire up the store. So it's quite good, really.
And I know, like, there's so many people who I've spoken to, especially in the group, and they're just like, I can't make any sales. I can't do this. It's just, this is my 6th store. I feel as though I probably put in 4, maybe 5 months of just learning and research before I even touched a Shopify store or bought any courses or anything like that. I think I probably have gone through the whole Oberlo playlist from back to finish, the entire thing. And that's part of the reason where I saw yours, although I saw your YouTube page before I found Oberlo.
Okay.
And just every other drop shipping, anything drop shipping I can get my hands on. And I like to listen to audio. So I would literally watch and learn, especially in the car, in between clients. If I'm training as a personal trainer, I just listen, just picking up the smallest bits of information, and then you start to find what. So success leaves clues. So you'll tend to find what winning, I wouldn't say avenues, but there's bits and pieces that people do who are very similar that sort of leads to success over time. So I've just basically taken most of those, put that together, and I like to reverse engineer things. So I like to do as much as I possibly can, completely free of charge, just literally trade time for instead of dollars, until I can't get any further by myself.
Yeah.
And then that's when I invest into someone. So for example, like your course.
Yeah. So had you tried to do it before you joined the academy then, or was it a case of you'd learned all this stuff, then thought, okay, I need to learn more now from something more substantial, and then you joined the academy? Is that
Yes.
right? So
Yeah. And it was probably only about maybe a week, so it wasn't that long. And I was just running. So everyone's now talking about how CBOs are now mandatory or coming into mandatory. I was literally just running a couple of dollar ad sets, just literally to test the waters. And I was just saying to myself that I just want to see how it goes. You can probably hear my dog barking. Ignore that. I would just literally just want to see how it went. So I just thought to myself, $50 to $100 just to play around with the Facebook ads and see how it went. And then a few sales started to come through. So like 1 or 2 sales. And I was like, well, if I can get 1 or 2 sales, I can get 10 or 20 sales. But how do I go from where I am now to the next level? I need a bit more in depth in terms of, this is your first step in the Facebook ads. This is your next step. This is your third step. And that's when I invested in the course.
Okay. So obviously I don't want you to share the product, obviously, because it's always top secret, but how did you come across the product itself? Like what was it that made you find that product?
It's funny because I didn't actually find it. My wife did.
Okay.
So she kind of just said to me, she's like, "Oh, have a look at this." So obviously it was a paid advertisement, and she goes, "What do you reckon?" I'm like, "It's a pretty cool idea." And I'm the kind of person, if I would buy it myself, I could probably sell it the way I see it. So, and again, like I said, I'm a lazy person. I like things to be fast and efficient and effective. So if it saves me money and time in the long run, I would probably buy it. Now I just know it all comes from AliExpress and China anyway now. So it's just a matter of just creating the ads or the correct ads for it that hit the right pain points, and creating a nice, non-spammy website, and providing really good customer service. I think that's really important as well.
Yeah, I mean, you hit it. You hit the nail on the head. Now, you were with your advertising, you've aimed at the pain points for the customer. So obviously, your product solves a problem, which is one of the main criteria for a winning product, is something that solves a problem. But when you've advertised it, you've talked about the benefits of it rather than the features of it, and the benefits are obviously the pain points and how it can solve those pain points. So, I mean, what kind of metrics are you seeing on your ads, like your click-through rates and things like that?
Good question. I can probably bring that up for you right now. Well, I mean, to give you an idea, I mean, it's only been the second month in running it. I actually got quite high ad spend in a really short time. So I think I was spending up at the most was almost $2,500 a day, which seems insane. Like, I know that seems ridiculous. But when people say that people are so scared to spend $150, $100, $200, I was that exact same person, until you realize that the money that you're actually spending on the ads, provided that they're profitable, isn't really money out of your pocket. It's just the investment, so the money that you've made in revenue that you reinvest back into it. And then at the end of the day, you have your small take home over the top of that. So people think it's crazy numbers when you're spending $2,000 a day, but it's not really your money in the first place. It's just the revenue that you generated that goes back on top of it. So, but it depends on the ad. To give you sort of like an average for the last 7 days, what's today, the 27th? You're probably looking at about 1%, just over 1% click through across all ads. About $4 per add to cart. I think I've probably spent maybe $40,000 to $50,000 on ads so far. Some crazy amount like that.
But it's crazy when you say it like that, though, isn't it? When you think about 2 months ago and you're running a few dollars per ad set, and now you spend that much money on an ad account on your first products and your first store kind of thing. And it's crazy.
It is. And even in the group, someone asked me how much are you spending on ads per day, and I said, about $2,000, and they were like, per day? And I was like, yeah. But at the end of the day, the revenue, it doesn't matter really much how much the revenue is. It's your percentage of that take home that you keep at the end of the day. So you could be spending, you could be making $50,000 per day, but if you're only taking home 100, doesn't really matter. You want to make sure that revenue is as high as possible. So your take home is as high as possible. But to give you an idea, I mean, this month alone, so we're in almost the 26th of Jan, just this month alone, we're looking at approximately 15 to 1800 in take home profit on top of everything. And that's just this month. Last month was much lower. Everything I think was just building up. And now it's sort of just slowly taken off this month.
So I think in the last week or so or something, you hit like $17,000 or something in the last week?
Yes. So I think, where was it? So the 19th of Jan was a really big day. So I think it was like a $2,000 profit day, which seems ridiculous. I know. I still can't believe that. And then it's been a pretty consistent about $1,000 to $1,500 profit every single day since then. There was a little bit of a dip the day before. So, I just spent a bit more. I increased the ads a bit. Some of the ads stopped performing as well, so I had to just chop those out and then start reintroducing some new ads. So it goes up and down. And then my ad spend went from say 2,700 and it's down to about 1,400, but my revenue is still about the same. So it's literally just staying on top of it, cutting out the stuff that you don't need anymore, and just reintroducing new ad sets and new interests and new lookalikes and just testing everything.
Yeah, that's what it is. You've got to keep testing different ad sets, and you're basically trimming the fat. You're getting rid of all those dead ad sets that are losing you money, and you're keeping and scaling the ones that are profitable. And eventually, it starts off small and you have a bit up and down, but eventually you're going to get to the point where it just starts to snowball, and that's what you're seeing right now. It's in $17,000 in a week 2 months ago, you probably would have just snapped someone's hand off to bring those kind of numbers in. So I mean, what does your family think about it all?
Well, obviously my wife's very happy. And I mean, the way I see it is like the main goal for me initially starting out, sort of once I sort of did my online business, is at some point I wanted to try and get to 5 different streams of income at $1,000 a day. So $1,000 per week. So if something was to drop off, then I still have multiple revenues of income coming in. So ideally, if I could have even just got this to $200 to maybe $300 sort of per week, and then had a different store at a different point and had that, and then had my personal training business and had my wife's business and just had a multiple amount of different streams coming in, I would have been happy. But the fact that this one store has taken off so well, I'll ride this to the moon and back until it's no longer profitable, or if it dies down and then reintroduce it again later in the year for some reason, if that happens. That's perfectly okay. So I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket still. I'm not going to say that this will last forever, just this one store. Hopefully it does, fingers crossed. But I mean, first thing I do every single morning is I get up. Once our little son has had his little morning tantrums and he's settled down, I'll have a coffee. I'll jump straight on the computer, check my Facebook ads, make sure everything's good, check the sales for the morning and make sure it's all good. If something's not right, I just go in and correct it straight away.
Well, yeah, you got to get in sort of that process, haven't you, of running, like, even around everything, all the craziness that you've got going on in your life. You still got this one little thing you need to take care of, even no matter how successful it is. You still got to manage it. But I mean, how much time do you put into it now? Now that you've got it set up and it's running, how long do you spend on the store and on your ad accounts every day?
The store itself is pretty much up and done, so I don't touch the store at all. So the product that I'm running is a few different upsells I'm probably going to add in the next probably day or two. Because the product's been successful, there's also people who are asking for multiple variations of the product, like, can you do this, can you get that? So I'm trying to source that from either different suppliers or speaking to my supplier directly and seeing if they can offer that. And then just slowly trying to improve or tweak just very small things here and there. So, and like with my personal training business, I tell my clients, if it's working, if it isn't broken, don't fix it, leave it as it is. And then just try and improve just a little bit upon what's already working. So, and I just try and take that same approach with the shop. So don't touch the shop if it's working. Try and just change one small thing every now and again here and there to see if that improves overall sales or revenue. If it doesn't, you just change it back, and at least you know it's that one variable that's changed or has or hasn't worked. And then from that, if it's worked, you improve upon that one again. So it's the way it sort of sucks, but dropshipping is marketed sometimes as a get rich quick scheme, but it's not. It's literally really slow process. And once people realize that they can really start making some big numbers and big money, they just want to get in ASAP. And I think that's where people tend to lose out. It's just they just chuck all their money straight into Facebook ads, spend way, way, way too much. If it's not profitable, it's not profitable. Don't keep spending money on it.
Yeah, and that's something I try and get across to people is, spending more doesn't mean you're going to earn more. You have to have everything set up in that back end. And I try and get that across as much as I can, in my YouTube videos and everything, just trying to explain that it's not just, you put money in and then you make money out. It's not like a vending machine cash. You've got to really put the effort in and put the work in to get it set up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, just sort of going to, like, obviously you've done really well with the store and everything, but going back to like the testing phase, obviously your wife found this product, you thought it looks interesting. How did you go about testing it? What was it that made you think, oh, this actually has a lot of potential?
It was, well, the way I sort of set the store up initially was I just want to try out some Facebook ads, see how this goes. So what we did was we ordered the product first. So we saw the ad. I think we waited about 3 weeks shipping time, had it sent through. We also ordered multiple variations of the product just to test all of them to make sure it's all fine and good quality and everything was okay, which it was. We're happy with it. There was sort of no branding on the product whatsoever. And it worked fine. So we set up a small Facebook ad. So we just set up like as per the course, we did the PPE campaign. I think we run 2 completely different ads, and we had one ad with just a different, one of those ads was with a different thumbnail. So just a slight variation. So we just went with the ad that got the most engagement or click-throughs. Sorry, not click-throughs, most comments and shares. And from there, we just went straight into interest. And from the interest, we got a decent amount of sales from that. And it's one of those products where other people like to tag other people to show them that this is a cool idea. So I think that also helps speed it up quite quickly.
Free traffic, isn't it? It's free engagement on your ad. There's
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And it's without saying too much, it's something that everyone sort of wants and needs. And at the same time, you don't have to have it if you don't want to. And it's kind of like if someone else sees it, someone will be like, oh, that's pretty cool. Where did you get it from? So it's a very sort of talkable type product. Okay. So we've got the sales through the interests. And then we started running the lookalikes, and I'm still playing around with different variations of the lookalikes. So for example, like with the course that you have, and you're saying, you run your 1 to 2%, 2 to 3%, 3 to 4. So we've tried that. And then I've also started trying from 0 to 1, 0 to 2, 0 to 3, and see if that makes a difference. Usually now that I'm sort of the second month into it, I know I can sort of feel as though if that campaign itself is going to do decently well within the first sort of 12 hours or so. And again, if it's not, you just stop that campaign ASAP. And I find, obviously, I've sort of found who's sort of buying it. We started to narrow down in terms of who, the age demographic a little bit more, the placements of the ads as well. So we started generally really broad, and we started to narrow. And now I'm just sort of trying a little bit more of a different aspect now that the Facebook pixel is a bit more seasoned as to who's buying it. We're trying to go a bit more broad again and just see if that makes a difference. It just target, all of USA and all of Australia and all of New Zealand. And it's still mostly the big 5 who I'm selling to as well.
Okay. So you haven't even really expanded into like Europe and things like that then? You just...
No, I have run a few of the EPACA countries in different campaigns, but the sales still tend to come from the big 5 or big 4, big 5. But the ones I find it's just a bit more of a pain than anything. So sometimes I'll get sales from, say, Israel, or not United Kingdom, sorry, Ireland. And for some reason, the DSs just doesn't like putting those in, and it just doesn't seem to work correctly with the automations when you're ordering. Yeah. So it's a bit more of a pain to go in and do it manually and then flip it over. So I'm just going to leave that for now, and I'll just focus on where I'm actually making sales. But I'll get around to it. I'll fix it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's something to do with the the characters for these Israeli ones and the fact that the Irish don't have postcodes. That seems to
Yes.
be the issue, isn't it? It's like you have to put
Yeah.
them on in AliExpress to get it to work and things. So
Yeah.
it's a bit of a nightmare. But these are
And
all the things
it's
that you come across when you're starting to run a business. All these little like bits of like niggles that you've got to get over and overcome and find another way around it. But
it is.
it's good.
Yeah, and with the postcodes, like I had no idea, and then I had to message every single person who's ordered from Ireland, which isn't that many. But I said to them, like, I need your postcode. They're like, oh, this place is so small, no one uses postcodes. And I was like, but I need it.
Yeah, no, done that. It's good. So when did you first kind of realize that this could go somewhere? Like how early into it, how late into it? Like what was kind of like the revenue or profit day when you thought to yourself, wow, this is actually working?
So I sort of base it on, I obviously I run my own business already. So in terms of like how much I would make per client to help them achieve their goals, if I was to make that, for example, on a computer, sitting down, clicking maybe 3 or 4 buttons, and I've just made my sort of, hourly wage, sort of, so to speak, within a day without leaving my house at all, then I saw that as the least amount of effort for the maximum amount of profit, so to speak. So once I sort of really started hitting into probably over the $100 per day, I was like, if I can make $100 a day, I can make 200. And if I can do 200, there's no reason why I can't do five. If I can do five, I can do 1,000. So that's sort of my mentality around it. And even at this point where I'm up to, my highest take home day was about 15 to, I know, what was it, $2,000 a few days ago. If I can make $2,000 a day, I can make $4,000 a day if I just put the effort into the shop, if I make sure I'm doing everything correctly, and if I'm doing everything that I'm doing now, just repeated, or just double down on what's working. There's no reason why you can't do that. And I was saying to my wife the other day, if we have one store that's doing this, eventually once this is sorted and this is sort of a bit more automatic, there's no reason why you can't have another store that's doing the exact amount of sales. So it's just, I think a bit of it's just self-belief, just do the work and you get the results. But it does take a bit of trial and error to get there too, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what sort of it was quite interesting with you saying then about obviously those sort of gradual incremental increases. I think that's kind of a mistake a lot of people make when they're very new to dropshipping. Is there's a lot of people out there, like you said, it's marketers that get rich quick kind of scheme, and they're always flashing Lamborghinis and mansions and everything. People think, like, incorrectly, that they can just launch the store and get that result straight away. But you've gone in with a different mentality. You've gone and say, okay, if I can make $100, I'll be happy. And then you made $100, like, oh, if I can make $200, then that's even better. And you made $200, and it was like, okay, $500. And it's kind of very similar to how I started. Was my original goal was £200 a month. That's all I wanted, £200 a month from my dropshipping store. But then you get to a point where you're waking up in the morning, you've already done that while you've been asleep, and then you're like, okay, well, if I'm doing that while I'm asleep, what can I do, for the entire day kind of thing? And then it just starts to snowball more and more until, obviously you're at the point you're at now. So
Yeah.
it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
So what kind of retargeting have you got set up? Have you got anything on the store, or is it Facebook retargeting, or have you got any retargeting at all?
Yeah, so my retargeting is probably, in terms of my overall ROAS and consistency, is probably the most profitable, and at least consistently profitable as well, just as per the course. So I don't do the dynamic, so I've just targeted people who have uh, video viewed but not visited the website, and you just segment the videos, the ads to the next funnel. So people have added the cart but haven't purchased, or checkout, and people who haven't checked out and they've purchased, and just running 3 different types of ads to those people. So one, I think, is just a image. One is, per the course, just another variation of the video. I haven't done any discounts on any of those at all. It's basically just literally the same 3 ads run into all, I think, 4 or 5 campaigns. And that tends to be still where the most profit's coming from. So I think I was literally just having a look before at the ad. So just in the last, the last couple of days, what are we today? 27th. So retargeting is, I'll show you 1 second. So just in the last week, I think it's over 119 sales just for the retargeting campaign, just by itself in the last 7 days.
So do you have anything set up on the store then, like email retargeting, text retargeting, anything like that?
SMS bump I have. I've got Klaviyo set up as well. So I think the free version is capped at, I think, about 500 emails a day. And what part of the process is you learn mistakes as you go along. So one of the email campaigns that I had set up, I had the wrong link. And this is for my SMS marketing and my Klaviyo. I had the wrong what do you call it, discount code that was in there. And I had someone email me and they were like, you shouldn't send out a discount code that doesn't work. That's crappy advertising. And I was like, I'm sorry, thank you for bringing that to my attention, because it's probably thousands of people that haven't probably bought now. But I fixed that literally the second that she told me. I fixed it up. And I gave her an extra discount on top of what I said I'd give her anyway. So I was like, oh, she by the way, she purchased it, and she's like, oh, I got this discount code, but it didn't work. And I'm like, oh, I'll give you an extra 10% off. I'm like, thank you for letting me know.
Well, that's customer service, that there's more likely that customer's going to come back to you in the future,
Yes.
or at least tell people she knows, or or whatever. That's word of mouth is huge when it comes to that. So that's great customer service. So
yeah,
I suppose, speaking of customer service kind of thing, like you said, you don't get many emails on a daily basis. What kind of emails do you get? Is it around shipping times? Is it around quality?
So touch wood, it stays like this. But it was initially to start off with shipping times. So I found that if someone's asking about something ongoing, there's usually an issue with either upfront. So if you're not telling people upfront about shipping times, which I just probably wasn't as upfront in as many places as I could possibly be. So I just fixed that. So when I got people asking me, where is my product? I haven't received it. And I just got tired of emailing everyone. So I literally put my shipping times. It was, 10 to 30 days, business days. On the product page, I put it in the confirmation email that they get. It says, please wait 10 to 30 business days. On almost every page on the website you can think of, except for the homepage, that this is the time frame that you'll receive your product in. And if it doesn't arrive, email us and we'll make it right and we'll help you and figure it out. Since then, I've probably almost had no one ask me about shipping times, because it's expected. They know exactly where it is. I think people are scared with shipping time, especially if you're doing, say, for example, AliExpress, because it can be a bit longer than your 7-day shipping times. But as long as you're really upfront, don't shoot yourself in the foot and try and hide it from people, because if people are looking for it and they can't find it, they probably won't buy it from you. And if they can find it and if they're happy with it, they'll purchase it anyway. So I don't think it's anything to miss out on. And you're doing less work later on as well, so you don't have to follow up as many people. So it's a win-win for everyone. So that was the initial emails I started getting. And then occasionally, someone would break the product and it would be in the first 30 days. So I would just send them out another one, at pretty much free of charge. So it's treating people the way that they want to be treated. I've been doing customer service a long time. My business is already a customer service business. And there's a certain element to it. It's just get to them as fast as, even if your customer service isn't that great, if you're doing it all yourself, just get to them as fast as you possibly can. Even if you're on your phone and you get that email come up, even if you just said, yep, I've received your email, I'm going to look into this for you ASAP, most 99.9% of the times they're happy with that, because they just want to know someone's helping them, looking after them, and just following up. So I think I had one person's parcel who just didn't arrive for some reason. And I think I sent them about 5 emails in that day, just saying that I'm looking into it, haven't found it, I'm ordering you another one. Once it's ordered, I'll send you your next tracking code. And they literally emailed me and said, this is the best customer service I've ever had. And it probably took me all about 10 minutes that day just to make sure that one person was happy.
Yeah. Again, this comes back to the repeat customer and that word of mouth thing. It does help people see the customer service as the back end of the process kind of thing, but it could potentially be the start of another process. Somebody else comes to your store. So it does really help to actually focus on that. So it's good to hear that because before all this, I had a customer service background as well. So I brought that into my business, and I've never outsourced my customer service. It's always been dealt with by me personally, because I have that same kind of relationship where it's like, I want them to have a good service. Even though even though with my stores, like my repeat rate isn't that high, but I still want to give them that customer service. Even though for me, it's going to be a lot easier to outsource to the Philippines or somewhere like that. I
Yeah.
personally want to do it myself. So
Yeah.
that's really good. I mean,
Yeah.
so obviously it's going really well. You know, you found your product, you've done all your testing, you're starting to scale, you're seeing some great numbers. What are the next steps for you? And what you were talking about, getting some upsells on the store. What is it after that? What are you planning on doing?
100%, I haven't decided exactly. So again, whatever's working, I'll double down on that. So I'll keep doing what I'm currently doing. I found that with the product I'm currently with at the moment, in terms of just the Facebook ads, just increasing the budget just doesn't seem to work as well as just horizontal scaling and just duplicating, which is sort of the reason why I'm trying more of a broad audience now, that sort of there's quite a few sales that have already come through, just to see if I can just set it for a bigger audience and then just scale that budget by itself, just because it's such a larger audience. So I'm going to try that, see if that works. But in terms of products, just adding more products, so the same product but just multiple variations of it, different colors, that sort of stuff, different options that go along with the product that complements it as well. So looking at possibly doing some post-purchase upsells. I've tried doing that. Some of the apps that are currently out there don't quite work properly with the product because there's quite a lot of different colors and variations to it. So if I try and do it, it just comes up with, you know, a whole list, like 40 different types of things that you could choose from. So it just doesn't quite work. So I'm going to try a different variation that we can upsell with it. The one thing I probably haven't touched on, the type of store that I run is just basically a single product store, more or less a single product store with a few different variations. And it's almost like a branded store. So it has its own name. It's not like a general store or anything. And it's not that I have anything against a general store. It just seemed to work out with the product that I wanted to sell. I could just put this name to it and it would basically be its own essential brand. And then once I've sort of capped out, you know, with upsells and as much of the I suppose horizontal scaling as I can, I'll try and do as much vertical scaling as I can. And then once I've sort of maxed out that, you know, just running different variations to the ads. And once I've sort of capped that out, you know, I just try and maximize everything that's working. Possibly looking at either running a new store later and down the track, maybe another few months, maybe 3 or 4 months to see how that goes. My wife also, she sort of runs a small e-commerce store. Part of it she actually does at home. So I'm sort of helping her with that one as well as whilst I'm doing this one, whilst I'm doing my personal training business and whilst I do my online personal training business. So we have quite a few things going on.
Busy.
Busy.
And the little one as well.
And the little one, yeah. So he's 2.5, and then obviously we have a dog as well. So there's always something going on.
That's brilliant, man. I'm actually super chuffed by it because obviously you seem like a really nice guy as well. So the fact that it's just, you know, just worked really well for you, it's just amazing, really. But yeah, it's great. I think that's why I don't want to keep you hanging around too long, kind of thing. But I suppose just to wrap up, like, what sort of advice would you have for somebody who's just getting started or someone who's actually doing it but not seeing a lot of success right now? What's kind of your takeaway from your experience so far, and what would you share with them?
I would say, number one, a lot of people, they fail and they give up. And it depends on your personality and your mindset. I find that when people come into the personal training industry, like I've seen a lot of trainers come and go. Look, sometimes running your own business isn't for you, and if it's not, that's okay. Like, you know, just don't do it. If you feel as though it is for you and you are going to make it happen, um, again, purchase the course. The course is great. I think I got it on a small discount when it was the sale that we had for the end of the year. But it just happened to come at the right time. It wasn't necessarily because it was on a special discount. It just happened to be the time I decided to take it up. It teaches you everything that you need to know. Keep learning as well. Like, I still to this day listen not only to my just personal business for personal training podcasts, but I'll probably still listen to maybe 4 or 5 YouTube videos. I'm probably subscribed to maybe 8, 10 people who I find not everything they say is 100% fantastic, but there's always a little bit of a nugget that you can take away from each person that works, and always continue learning and trying to improve on what you're doing. And if you don't invest in yourself, you at the end of the day, you're really not going to go that far. So there's only so much you can do by yourself. that's why you go to someone like yourself who's been doing it for a long time, who's been proven. I think the one thing that I like with your course is it's very data driven, so the numbers don't lie. And I'm that kind of person. So my personal training approach is a very evidence science-based approach. If the numbers aren't trending in the right direction, we're not getting results. So we need to fix something, which is part of the reason why I think I bought into your course as opposed to 20-year-old Jeremy who's sitting next to a Lambo, that's rented for a weekend. So
yeah,
it's not my kind of thing anyway. So,
it might be.
So just,
it might be.
no, you never know. I don't know. I no matter how much money I made, I didn't think I could still justify it. Practicality and efficiency. That's what we're about.
That's great. But, it's really good. It's really good to
yeah. So yeah, if it's not working, just figure out what's not working. And if you're really stuck in a rut, just buy into someone. And I say this with my clients as well. If the client isn't happy with my service for any reason, or don't like me as a personal trainer, I'll point them into the direction of someone else that can help them. So even if you don't buy Wayne's course, just buy something that has proven results and someone who you can relate to on I suppose on a more personal level, because you're more likely to buy into the course and their methods compared to saying if I said to you, you must buy Wayne's course and you just don't like Wayne, you'd be like, well, this course sucks. Why did you force me into buying this? It's just slowly improve every day. Keep at it. It does work, obviously. I mean, I've gone from literally no sales to almost 20,000 in profit in a month and a bit. So it does work. You just got to put the effort in and just keep plugging away.
That's crazy, man. I am proper chuffed for you. It's brilliant. It's brilliant to see success stories like this. It's really, really good. But yeah, I mean, that's all I've really got. I don't know if you want to share anything else, but I mean, it's been great speaking to you.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm in the group. I usually post in there maybe once or twice a week. So I'm always, if I can answer a question, I try and answer questions if I can. I've had a few of the guys reach out to me and they're like, help. What did you do? Can you look at my store? And I'm like, yeah, send it through. I'll see what I can do. I'm like, I'm no expert. Like I know as much as I know, so I can help you within my limitations, obviously. But I'm always happy to help people. Even my training business, people ask me for free information all the time. I help them as much as I can. But yeah, if you're unsure, speak to Wayne first, because he's the one that did the course, obviously. But if you're in a group, send me a message. I'm always happy to help if I can.
That's great, man. Thank you very much.
That's right. You're welcome, Wayne.
So there you have it. I mean, that is an absolutely incredible story from Shannon. The fact that he only started this business 2 months ago and he's already pulling in these types of numbers, it goes to show that dropshipping isn't dead. Dropshipping still works. Dropshipping can change your life. You just need to be able to put the steps into practice and actually follow a set pattern. If you want to learn more about dropshipping, make sure you check out the links in the description, because everything you need to know is down there. Hopefully you found this entire video really useful. Hopefully it's given you some sort of ideas about what you can do with your dropshipping business. Hopefully it changes everything for you. If you did find this content useful, please drop me a like on this video. Subscribe if you're new. If you have any questions at all, just drop them in the comments box down below, because I am still answering everything. But other than that, hope you enjoyed it. But that's the end of this one. I'll catch you in the next one.